Oh, I see. Was I even on here? Could you even hear me? Let me check. If you couldn't, that's on me. Let me check real quick. Oops. That's on me. Can I go back to the beginning? Will it play? Let's see. It may not. Anyway, I'll reiterate what I just said in case I wasn't on the stage for you to even hear what I said. But basically what I'm doing right now is I'm taking the Descript app and I'm pulling AMA spaces that were done on Twitter. I'm editing them so that, one, all of the text is accurate. I've already gone through all of these AMAs and pulled texts or sections out to repurpose into content like videos and such for Twitter or whatever. But now I had this idea where I want to take, one, all of these so that they can be, if you go to publish and then export, you can take the transcript and download it as a doc, which is phenomenal because we have a lot of international holders since this is a crypto project, and they can use that to translate into their language, which they've expressed to me is extremely helpful. So if you are a crypto project and you don't do this for your AMAs, I think it's beneficial if you have worldwide holders to, I mean, for an hour-long AMA, it may take me 2 hours, depending. It may not even take me that. If I don't have to listen to the whole thing over and over, and a lot of the spelling issues can be taken care of in mass quantities, the filler words like ums and uhs can be taken care of pretty quickly. I think it would take a lot less than that. So my goal is to provide those transcripts for them to be able to transcribe into their language. But my other goal that I'm really excited to experiment with, and I'll probably do another live when I do it, is I want to take all of these AMAs, because the format of them is basically people ask a question and then the team answers. And I want to download all of them as docs and then upload them to ChatGPT, since you can upload documents to ChatGPT now, and be like, all right, make me a frequently asked question document, or make me a FAQ or whatever, so that all of these questions are now in the format of a professionally written FAQ. And I'm curious how that's going to work. So I will probably do a video of me experimenting with that as well. So moving forward, my goal is to, every time we have an AMA, go ahead and do all of these edits and not have to go back and redo it now, since I have this new purpose that I'm going to be using these for. But I did not do that. So now I have 5 AMAs to edit. We're starting with the smallest one, which is only half an hour. And then we'll tackle the others. I'm not going to do all of them today. I'm just going to do, well, I'm not going to be live while doing all of them, but I am going to do this one. So that's where I'm at. Where do I need to go? Let's do this one. All right. So the main thing is I went ahead and went under Underlord and did the remove filler words. I think I did that one. Looks like it missed one. And then I would do the shorten word gaps, which is anything that's longer than a second. It would remove those. So maybe I didn't do that. But why is it not? Let me hit it again.
Their level of knowledge that they would
shorten word gaps. Yeah, I don't know why it's giving me a little bit of guff with that.
And
so I also plan to acknowledge who the speakers are in each section, because I think, as I mentioned earlier, I want to be able to download a transcription of everything in document format, because we have holders that are international and they use that to transcribe into their language easily so they understand what's going on, which is not a feature that I'm required to do, but I think I like to be as friendly to international holders as much as possible. So that's part of the reason that I'm doing this, but the word gaps aren't going to affect that at all. It's just for, if I upload this as the podcast feature on YouTube, I would do it that way. So right now I'm just going through, I'm checking spelling, which this program, you know, it'll do most spelling, but there's certain words like DeFi and SETI that are NVIDIA, which it did acknowledge that because that's a big brand name. But and then any ums that didn't get caught by the AI thing is what I'm doing now, and then I'm going to transcribe and upload that for our holders. And I've got 4 more to do, but I think I'm only going to record me live doing one. We'll see.
Thank you, and thanks for the platform and the opportunity to talk about the project.
And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I do want to do studio sound while I'm here. Let's see how that made a difference.
Thank you, and thanks for the platform and the opportunity.
Much more clear. If I'm going to be uploading this as a YouTube podcast, I mean, it just makes sense to improve the quality. I might actually make it a little louder. Let me see how this sounds.
To talk about the project, and thanks to the voice too, and congratulations on your product launch. That sounds like something that's really cool that we probably would have looked into had we not already launched our token earlier. Our token is 𝙎𝙤𝙤𝙬𝙖𝙜, CET, and the TGE was on March 11th.
All right, so there's some funkiness going on here, but first, I'm going to delete. It's going to be the full podcast, but there's certain references. Like this was a 2-part podcast where they interviewed another company first, and then they interviewed us for the last half. I don't think for our podcast we need to mention the part where he's talking about the other company. So I'm actually just going to delete that. It just doesn't make sense to me. But this part here sounded a little funky. So let me listen to this again, because you can restore audio that might have been deleted through your AI edits. Like when you use the feature under Underlord called remove filler words, sometimes there's like, it detects a filler word and somehow some of the audio that's attached right next to it will get removed and things get a little wonky. So for those, I can restore that audio and then I'll just manually edit. So we'll see what the heck happened there, but that sounded really weird.
Thank you, and thanks for the platform and the opportunity to talk about the project. And our token is 𝙎𝙤𝙤𝙬𝙬𝙬, CET, and the TGE with.
You see how that's, look, what is that? So if I highlight the section that's funky and I right click, I can hit restore removed media. So it's trying to like detect other speakers. Let's listen to it now that it's restored.
Our token is 𝙎𝙤𝙤𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬, and the TGE was on March 11th.
So I'm going to manually take this out and this out and see if that fixes it. We'll see.
Is 𝙎𝙤𝙤𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬, and the TGE was on March 11th.
Yeah, I think it's better. It's not, obviously it's not perfect, but technology be technologying over here. So, all right, so we'll move on.
Our token is 𝙎𝙤𝙤𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬, and the TGE was on March 11th. It's traded on Uniswap, and you can.
On Uniswap. All right, let me make this a little bigger on the timeline. And then, what was that? Is that this little bit here? I know it seems so minute to do this, but I'm kind of a stickler for it.
Traded on Uniswap.
Oh. Actually, this is probably too big. Let me make it a little smaller. I think it's this little grayed out area here. So I'm going to use my little, what is this tool called? The blade tool. And then we're going to just delete that and see if I get rid of that extra that was in there.
Traded on Uniswap, and you can.
Actually, I don't think the A needs to be there at all. So I'm just going to delete the whole A. I don't know. I think I just delete the whole thing. Traded on Uniswap, not a Uniswap.
Tau. That's the.
Back here.
Traded on Uniswap, and you can find us paired there against wrapped tau. That.
All right, so it's not wrapped towel, as in a towel. It's technically, I'm going to correct this, WTAO. That is the coin that it's paired with. So there's certain spelling errors that aren't really spelling errors. It heard it correctly. It sounds like towel, but it's towel, and it's a word that's just not going to be easily translated. So
against wrapped tau. That's the.
And there's no there or a there that we can get rid of.
against a rat cow. That's the place to go to trade SETI. Look for.
Oh, that sounded weird too, didn't it? There's two thes. We don't need both of them.
That's the place to go to trade SETI. Look for us on Uniswap or your favorite aggregator. But let me tell you first about the project. The project is to build globally distributed, high-performance, scalable AI infrastructure, top-notch enterprise-grade stuff, and make it available for decentralized artificial intelligence. And
Stop. Make it. I think this is the here. I like that even though it didn't catch it with its filler word tool, it still seems to highlight it. So it's easier for me to recognize where the uhs and ums are that it didn't catch.
Intelligence.
Which to me, that's a pretty advanced feature for Descript. I'm going to be a Descript fan for life, to be honest.
It's available for decentralized artificial intelligence and DeepIn projects.
All right, so here's another one that, because it's a crypto word, it's not going to easily recognize it. But DeepIn is different than, it's not deep in. So I have to manually, and I guess I could have done it for all, but we'll just keep going.
And DeepIn projects. And we have found a very strong business case. And
see another here. Now, most podcasts, I imagine, don't need to go this in depth with editing. Some are probably okay with, the casual conversation, intricacies, the filler words. Some of them aren't bad, but if it's full of filler, I don't know. It's some people do it live, and they're brave. I feel like I would be a little anal about it. So.
And we have found a very strong business case and niche here for being able to bring the same kind of hardware, the same NVIDIA H100 top spec, multi-million-dollar server hardware.
I heard that though. So I'm going to go in here and delete this.
Multi-million-dollar server hardware to.
Oh no, another one. Oh no. So I'll get rid of that one. When I hover over these, I see A and B. I'm wondering if I can just type those letters, but I don't know what delete would be. Maybe the usual Control X or something. I don't know.
Hardware to Web3.
Damn, there's another one. To. Is this the There's no high points.
Where to Web3.
Oh, it's this. It just didn't. Let's see if it's just that.
Are able to.
No, up here.
Hardware to Web3 that the centralized.
Wait. No, another one. I love Dennis to death, but he definitely gives me work to do.
Companies.
Get back here. Make sure I got
hardware
it all.
to Web3 that the centralized AI players, the cartel of big companies, are able.
Yeah, that's another one. Now see how it got rid of the R in the transcript as well. Let me see if it's audio here, and if it is, I can do a quick adjustment.
Big companies are able to.
Yeah, so it's not recognizing the R, but if I go into here and correct it, and then have it R be part of the word there, it should still be fine.
Companies are able to use.
Damn. More O's. It's O's everywhere. Let's see if that got rid of that one. And then I think this one is one as well, so I might as well. While I'm in here cutting.
Companies are able to use on their own. So this is a game-changing level of.
This is a really doesn't need to be there. This is a game-changing.
So This is a game-changing level of sophistication and enterprise-grade capability that SETI AI is bringing to decentralized AI and DePIN. And
quickly fix this to be DePIN, and I'm going to do correct all this time. So if it's anywhere else, which it is, it'll correct all of them to be that, which is a nice, it's just like a mass replace. But as you're doing it for the text, the transcript, it's also doing it, or like not spelling errors necessarily, but editing, removal, or whatever is doing it to the audio too, which is highly beneficial.
AI and DePIN. And I'm proud to say that after launching the token on March 11th, just this past weekend, we lit up our first installation of NVIDIA hardware at our North American data center in Vancouver. And those machines are up.
I can get rid of that cough and probably some of this extra space here.
Vancouver, and those machines are up and running, and they're getting fitted out and tested.
Oh, I heard that little one. Actually, right there.
They're getting fitted out and tested out right now, and will soon be running the SETI AI Intelligent Compute Fabric, which is the software layer that directs our hardware to the decentralized AI projects or the DePIN.
Deep end is not DePIN. Yeah, so there's a couple
projects that are the most economically productive for us. And I think I've heard at the beginning that something about graphics cards. There are a lot of DePIN brokers and projects out there that do aggregate NVIDIA graphics cards for the purposes of providing AI compute, but that is not SETI AI.
That is not the right word. And I think I'm going to capitalize NVIDIA. I think for those type of businesses, especially since their name, I think, is supposed to be capitalized. I'm going to go ahead and capitalize it. Actually. All right, so it's just the one. But yeah, I think it just makes sense for their name. There we go. All right.
But that is not SETI AI.
Now, what is this gray? What is that? Did I miss an
graphics cards for the purposes of providing AI compute, but that is not SETI AI. We don't have graphics cards. We have.
Wait, no. Nobody told me. I guess it still had the C pin or the D pin, C pin. Oh my God, what is with me today? It's Monday. Monday and it's hot.
SETI AI. We don't have graphics cards. We have H100s from 40 of them with.
Whoa. I didn't say the NVIDIA word. So for this, I will probably have to do the highlight the section and then restore removed media, which is of course going to add all this crap. But I didn't have the NVIDIA word, so let's see what's going on here.
We have H100s from NVIDIA.
Yeah, so we'll take out the or the and then I'll listen to this and see what
revenue that we
nope, up here
from NVIDIA. 40 of them with a bunch more on the way very shortly, and we're going to scale this thing globally. And so how does this benefit the token holder? All the revenue that we generate from participating in these decentralized AI networks or DePIN networks.
It's fascinating how many different ways, it's been 3 so far, that it can hear DePIN and have it be, something completely different. Spelled completely different.
DePIN networks. 100% of that net revenue is redirected back to the token ecosystem. And so that's the 10,000 foot view.
Weird spacing issue here. Oops. I just want to remove that space. But I don't think I can remove the space without doing it this way, without it trying to mess with the audio. And I don't want it to mess with the audio there.
10,000 foot view. We provide enterprise grade hardware to Web3 AI projects and DePIN projects. And the money we make goes back to you, the token holder.
Yeah, man, I gotta be.
All right, so I got a new speaker. So what I do here, if you guys aren't familiar with how speakers work in the software, is if you right click and change speaker, I think I have him basically just set as speaker right now, the person that was interviewing. I have Dennis marked. Usually if I know the name, I don't know the name of the speaker, so that's part of the reason I'm just calling it speaker. But you can designate different who's speaking or what they're saying, and it also shows in the transcript, so it's easier for people that are reading instead of listening to know, oh, this is someone else asking this question or saying this statement. So that's why I'm going through. As soon as it switches to whoever, I'll go ahead and mark it as that person.
Yeah, man. I got to be honest, this is industry, and I've interviewed a lot of utility tokens.
I think that's all one sentence. I'm just going to comma that real quick.
This is industry, and I've interviewed a lot of utility.
I was trying to decide whether he was saying or a. I think it's a. It makes sense to be a. This is an industry, but I think because he didn't say an, that maybe it's thinking it's an like this is industry. You know, that's just, it's just not proper grammar. I can't blame him though. My grammar is horrible. So
this is industry, and I've interviewed a lot of utility tokens, probably like hundreds and hundreds, but this is one that I'm not as familiar with. Can you talk to me? What is DPIN? I honestly don't even know.
DPIN is a.
And then this isn't speaker 5 speaking here. This is Dennis. So we're going to change it back to Dennis. There we go. Oh, well, look what it did there. That was weird. So I'm going to get rid of him. Actually, I'm going to get rid of this one and just put Dennis here. I don't know why it does that sometimes, but all right. So can this go back up? There we go. So now we're back into, this is Dennis mode. The space here, hold on.
Even know.
DPIN is a decentralized physical
fine.
infrastructure, the way to make your server or other hardware available online in a Web3 environment, where you can do order matching for purchasing the.
I heard that one. Yeah, I think if you get speakers that don't say a lot of ums and uhs, this is probably a lot easier. And this in crypto is more like that. So there's a couple instances. So we're gonna, whoops, I see it up here trying to say DPIN. But we just want to say Web3. There we go.
Environment where you can do order matching for purchasing the hardware or compute capacity and payment all in crypto. And there's just a huge number of DPIN projects out there. We're here at.
I don't need this. Sometimes the repeat words, because you're thinking through what you're saying, like that. Something I'll just edit out.
And there's just a huge number of DPIN projects out there. We're here, actually, the whole team at Consensus right now this week in Austin, Texas.
Don't need a period there.
In Austin, Texas, and we're looking to meet with a lot of DPIN projects out there. Names that would be familiar in this space would be 𝙎𝙤𝙤𝙤 or.
It's the company name. We actually have an AMA with them on Friday.
𝙎𝙤𝙤 or 𝙎𝙤𝙛𝙩𝙬𝙖𝙜 or Ether, some big market cap projects out there.
And Ether is another one that I need to, since it's a business, capitalize it.
Companies that allow physical.
Why did it skip all the way down there?
Ether, some big market cap projects out there, of course. And then on the decentralized artificial intelligence side, the biggest market cap right now, the biggest blockchain for AI is BitTensor. And
now there's a couple small uhs or hesitations here I'm not going to bother with, because again, it's a podcast. I feel like we should expect people to say shit like ums and uhs, and I mean, I'm saying I'm even here on this live. It's just a natural part of human conversation, and this is a conversation despite it also being an interview. So I'm going to try to keep it a little edited, but not stress too much about it. I just don't think it's necessary.
the biggest blockchain for AI is BitTensor, and that's the tau in our name.
but I will fix the spelling. Yes. So we are going to correct all of the TAs to TAO.
Tau in our name is a throwback or call out to Tensor, whose token trades as Tau as well.
Now, the audio funkiness that's going on right here, I will fix.
Call out to BitTensor, who's.
If I just delete these two, will that do it?
Or call out to Tensor, whose token trades.
You know, I don't like that. So somehow, I'm just going to manually edit these. So this must be the bit, and these reds must be, let's see.
Is a throwback or call out to BitTensor.
Yeah, so this is bit, which means I just need to manually edit out these uhs so I can keep the bit. Does that make sense? That makes sense to me. All right, let's see how that sounds now.
Or call out to BitTensor, whose token trades as Tau as well.
Yeah, the only thing, I mean, it's still a little funky, but it's better, is I'm going to change this because, again, BitTensor is a company or organization to capitalize it. And then I think we're going to go back into the interviewer, which is just listed as speaker for this.
Yeah, man, that's pretty epic. So how does that differ from server hosting, like companies that allow physical hardware space for companies, or do you guys actually have a physical facility where you have computers and servers set up? Help me explain the difference there. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, no, it's a great.
And then change this to Dennis.
It's a great question. I think it's a good way to make the distinction between what we do and what.
That sounded really weird. Hold on.
It's a great question. I think it's good.
All right, it's. Let me restore media here too. So they deleted the and it looks like it just cut out some stuff.
It's a great question. You know, I think it's a good way to like make the distinction between.
I did do this whole thing, right? Hold on. Yeah, there's no more. So I guess I just spoke weird.
You know, I think it's a good way to like make the distinction between what we do.
Okay. I don't like it. So I'm thinking it's. I think I'm going to delete this whole part here and have it be, I think it's a distinction between what we do and what people who are, yeah. Let's see if that sounds better, because that just sounds too choppy.
You know, I think it's a distinction between what we do and what people who are aggregating graphics cards from home computers might do. So on one hand, like there are.
I think we need a period here to start the new sentence.
Training on and to do the model inference.
Why does it jump?
Computers might do. So on one hand, like there are probably projects that if you have a NVIDIA 4090 card in your computer, you could, you know, point it at a DPIN project and maybe.
So they're missing the U here. Here we go.
You know, point it at a DPIN project and maybe make a few pennies a day providing that resource to them. But and I think that probably does serve like some use case side.
I don't think we need the and there. I think it might be smoother without it.
But I think that probably does serve like some use case in this space. But what
I am going to get rid of this here.
Like some use case in this space. But what AI developers in particular need is top spec machines to run to.
So So we don't need the period here. And I like that it automatically takes the capitalization of what would have been the next sentence and lowercases it to be a part of the previous sentence. That's pretty nice.
Machines to run, to do their model training.
All that.
Their model training on, and to do their model.
I wanted to hear what it sounded like too.
Machines to do their model training on, and to do their model inference or running their AI models on.
But do you offer remote
Oh, there's some talking over here. Hold on.
remote access to machines that you guys?
All right, so I'm gonna restore this audio real quick. So it didn't really do much. Okay, hold on.
But do you offer remote access to machines that you guys set up?
That's gonna be hard, but I'm going to change the speaker to the interviewer guy.
Particular need is top spec machines
Why didn't that
to do their model
register?
training on, and to do their model inference or running their AI models on.
But do you offer remote?
So let's period this. Let me try again. Speaker. And I don't need all this space up here.
But do you offer remote access to machine?
Now there's that real quick. That's a big one. And then this will be back to Dennis. I'll listen to it again. I mean, it's a little funky because they were talking over each other, but you know, I can't edit that, so.
But do you offer remote access
But I can fix the text.
to?
But do you offer remote access to machines that you guys set up?
But do you offer remote access to machines that you guys set up?
I think that's about as good as I'm going to get on that particular part. But
But do you offer remote access to machines that you guys set up?
So our machine.
I guess I can add a question mark there.
I know you guys mentioned a lot about graphics cards.
I went back. I wonder if the back and the forward goes back and forth, or maybe that's just the beginning. I don't know. It'd be neat if it went back to the previous speaker, like this back and forth, but I don't know that it does that.
So our machines, our NVIDIA servers are located in our own data.
I was going to take out part of this, but I think it's fine to leave it. Like, so our machines, our NVIDIA servers, I don't think we need to say both, but again, I don't want to bother with over editing, I guess, for something like that.
So our machines, our NVIDIA servers are located in our own data center, and we're expanding to our second data center this summer as well. And that's one of the things that we can do, but the best thing for us to do, I think, is point them at networks that have a maker-taker system that'll allow you to make your GPUs available and make the compute available on the network, and then have people take the other side of that order, and you get paid.
That's an easy edit. Just take that out.
And have people take the other side of that order, and you get paid in the network token. Or, in addition to that,
Hold on was the...
Or in addition
Okay, so it was the gray. I thought I heard it differently, that it was somewhere else, but...
addition to that, to mine on BitTensor to effectively be a miner on the
Miner.
on the BitTensor blockchain by providing our compute directly to one or more BitTensor subnets.
Sorry, I'm just gonna get rid of this one in here. Feel free to ask questions too, the dozen plus of you that are watching at the moment.
Our compute directly to one or more BitTensor subnets.
Okay, now.
All right, so we're gonna change the speaker here, right click, change to speaker. That's the one I've been designating for the interviewer, and go from there.
Okay, now I've got like the view of it. Sorry, I'm struggling to grasp some of the concepts there, but I definitely feel like I have it. Clients come to you for the kind of like to utilize your servers at your physical facility for computational purposes, and particular for AI, they need to use a lot of computational power for their AI models and algorithms.
Yeah, this is the next generation of Bitcoin mining, right? Bitcoin mining.
Get rid of this.
Generation of Bitcoin mining, right? Bitcoin mining started off as something you can do on your home computer, and eventually you needed to have an ASIC running in your house to do it. You could buy a couple of those and set them up in your basement. But then at some point, you had to be a multi-billion-dollar company providing warehouses full of these ASICs and be able to get the latest ones right from the manufacturer in order to be competitive in this space. And now what we're seeing with artificial intelligence in Web3 is that there is a need for massive amounts of compute.
Sorry, just a quick edit here.
In Web3 is that there is a need for massive amounts of compute, not ASICs, but GPUs from NVIDIA in an
Get rid of some of this dead space too.
but GPUs from NVIDIA. And in addition to that, the ability to do model training and inference, so like this added software complexity. And it's a huge space. As you guys know, AI is blowing up in terms of the amazing applications that you see from all the centralized providers like OpenAI and Google, Microsoft. AI and Google, Microsoft, but it's also blowing up in the decentralized space too, with all of the same capabilities being provided on BitTensor subnets as one example, and all of these providers in the decentralized AI space.
All right, hold on. I think this was one. I'm thinking this is the other that I heard. All right, this and BitTensor.
BitTensor subnets is one example, and all of these providers deliver on the product of the promise of their particular application.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
All right, let's switch back to speaker.
Yeah, man, absolutely. It's extremely high level stuff there, and obviously the AI, they're extremely energy heavy. They take a ton of GPU. They take.
Actually, wasn't there another word up here that I missed, where it said decentralized AI, but the AI was gone? Am I going crazy? I could have swore I saw that somewhere. Maybe I am.
Take a ton of computational units and things like that. You being able to provide those with the complex algorithms, I think makes a lot of sense for your client. So if you're talking about ideal clients, and we'll move to a topic that maybe is going to be more relevant to the actual token holders, of course, because they don't necessarily need to understand all the technical intricacies and details of how the system works and how the tech works and code works. But just getting back to it, when it comes to the AI-driven model, your ideal type of client, is that going to be like a decentralized AI token cryptocurrency who, utilizes?
All right, so it's missing the AI token word there.
Token cryptocurrency who, utilizes AI in their platform, because couldn't they just, in some case, go ahead and just use ChatGPT and just buy all the API directly from them? Where does it come in that they need their own servers if they train their own models and their own AI?
That's a great.
All right, so ChatGPT. We'll edit that for spelling. I swear, it's going to bug me that there was a decentralized AI being spoken, but it was missing the I. And then I feel like I'm gaslighting myself right now or something. I don't know. All right, where did he say it? That's a great question. Okay. So this is Dennis again.
That's a great question. And this is just speaking to the importance of this space of decentralized AI in particular. Yeah, of course, any one of us can go and subscribe to OpenAI's APIs and use those in our application. Who controls the experience then? OpenAI. And if you don't want...
We have a little bit of an audio issue here. So we're going to restore the removed audio. Figure out what went wrong.
Then OpenAI.
Okay, so this whole thing, OpenAI. Actually, is it one word? I don't know, but I'm gonna stick with it.
Then OpenAI. And if you don't want a model that they have, or you wish your model was a little bit different or produced a different type of response or output for your users, then maybe you...
Get rid of this little
For your users, then maybe you could try Google, but it's going to be very much the same. Or maybe you could go around and try the 4 or 5 options available to you from the centralized AI.
This one. It's probably very boring to watch. I'm surprised you guys are watching.
From these centralized AI providers, but decentralized artificial intelligence opens this up to anybody who can create their own model and run their own model for any purpose, whether it's LLM, image, or video. It's LLM, image or video generation or translation or various types of compute, you name it. There's the freedom for anybody to be able to create any type of model that they want and run it in a way that is very censorship resistant. Much like Bitcoin is censorship resistant money, decentralized AI is censorship resistant artificial intelligence. And it's such an important part of why we exist. And I think that there are layers and layers you can peel on this onion to get right down to the meat of this. But I think one of the most important things that a prospective token holder would want to know is, how does this work? The token tax from the SETI token purchases hardware. The hardware comes online and we run our models.
The city token. No. City. Okay, we don't want to do all of these because it's doing capacity too. So, where was I at? So now I'm just going to search for city.
Tax from the city token purchase.
Yeah, so this one.
Hit that because that Tau City wants to touch on.
Coming back to you, the city holder. Hardware or compute capacity. Hit that the capacity. We're buying more hardware.
All right. Derailed.
The token tax from the city token purchases hardware. The hardware comes online and we run our models on the hardware.
I'm assuming that was a throat clear there. And I think this is a double the. I'm just going to go ahead and edit it out.
The hardware, we direct them at D-pin networks and it makes money. And that money goes back to the token.
Stop. D-pin. Encrypt all.
We direct them at D-pin networks and it makes money. And that money goes back to the token ecosystem.
If you guys ever wonder why video editors make so much, this is why. It's a lot of work.
That money goes back to the token ecosystem.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right, so we're changing speakers again. Speaker one.
Yeah, absolutely, man. No, I think that's all starting to make more sense to me. And again, also, this isn't going to be your typical, necessarily your client isn't necessarily going to be your typical run-of-the-mill first-time engineer watch a YouTube class, and they might not have the expertise to build their own decentralized system for AI, but maybe potentially more enterprise-level clients who have a team of software engineers and really need this thing to scale and be proprietary, so they're not leaning on those centralized, potentially censored or altered services.
Yeah, I think ultimately what we're offering out there.
All right, so this is a new speaker. This is Aaron. So we're going to put him in here as Aaron Smith Hayes.
Yeah, I think ultimately what
I like
we're
that it
offering
color
out there
codes
is for the
too,
innovators.
because as I'm going through and editing, visually I can be like, okay, brown is anytime Aaron's talking, purple is Dennis, and then green is the interviewer, and it just makes it easier to kind of delineate, you know, where I need to adjust who's speaking or whatever. It's kind of nice.
And the scholars and the people that are already in possession of the knowledge to utilize this hardware and give them access to it, because the future is what we make it. If we don't make it for ourselves, it's going to be made behind walled gardens with these cartels, and they're going to own everything. Think about just how much people are trusting artificial intelligence already in the first year or two. Think about in 5-10 years when the artificial intelligence you're talking to is almost indistinguishable from human.
Yeah, man, it's definitely a scary future. And I
Oh,
see where you guys
let's
come
see,
in
it
and
didn't get this one right. Which normally it does. So I think this is just kind of, I don't know. This is an awkward one.
yeah, man, it's definitely a scary future. And I see where you guys come in and put the power back into the hands of the both either individuals or large scale companies that want to have that proprietary information. So let me just because we glossed over it, you mentioned it very quickly, but where the token comes in, where the cryptocurrency comes in, can you just lay that out a little bit more? So when people, how does money, so the money from those clients goes back to the SETI token or purchasing the SETI token? Can you talk about everything around the SETI token and where that comes into this equation?
Yeah, Aaron, do you want Aaron?
All right, so this is Dennis, and then I assume it's going to go directly into Aaron. So
Yeah, Aaron, do you want Aaron as our CTO? Would you like to take this question?
Yeah, sure. So
detected him
the
though. Good.
specific method of paying out to the community hasn't been announced yet, but we are looking at basically using LSTs, liquidity staking tokens, as a way to pay back people who participate in our system. And that's what we're looking at. We listed on Uniswap with 𝙎𝙤𝙛𝙦𝙬𝙖𝙜. We're not paired with Ethereum.
Oh, Rapow.
𝙎𝙤𝙛𝙦𝙬𝙖𝙜. We're not paired with Ethereum because we feel that this is more to our niche, right? Like we're playing in the deep in space. We're not necessarily going after like crypto.
He did have an other earlier, but I'm going to skip it.
Going after like cryptocurrencies, right? We want to build infrastructure that pays into the token and then it benefits token holders in a passive way, right? Like we designed our token for people to buy and hold. That's why we have a tax on it. It's not meant to be swung trade every day. In essence, there for long-term participation.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That makes a lot of sense.
All right, switch this to our other speaker.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That makes a lot of sense to me when it comes to that. Anything else that you'd like to add?
Well, that sounded weird. Wait a minute.
That makes a lot of sense to me when it comes.
Oh, what is that? That sounds so freaking weird. Hold on. Oh, well, let me restore media. Well, wait a minute. What is the media here, though? All right, let's do this. Let's see if that fixes whatever that weird.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
Maybe that's the audio. I don't remember that during the AMA. I was there, but it sounds that me sounds robotic. That's weird sounding. Let me hear it again.
Sense to me.
To me. It's very like Pee-wee Herman-ish.
When it comes to that, anything else that you'd like to add about the token? I'm a big fan of liquidity staking derivatives. I don't know if that's potentially going to involve like a receipt token for staking that you're able to trade, but really strong model there if you're willing to put in that work to develop that.
Yeah, thanks. So we will have more to announce about how.
All right, so this is back to Dennis. Get me in here. Wait, why did it go back up there? Over here. There we go. Change speaker to Dennis. There we go.
Yeah, thanks. So we will have more to announce about how the UST works within the SETI token economy in the near future. But I think it's going to be, like, as you said, like a really strong way for people to be able to earn yield passively.
All right. There was an there I'm going to get rid of.
Strong way for people to be able to earn yield passively just by holding the token and participate.
There's another. Yeah, right here. It seems pretty close to some other words, so let's see.
Holding a token and participating in that manner.
Yeah.
The other thing I would mention about the SETI token is that There is a small token tax on transactions with it.
Oops. I just want to get rid of it is because there is.
There is a small token tax on transactions with the SETI token. That is what fuels the hardware purchases. So we actually convert the tax directly into hardware. And so by this process of creating a flywheel where we're converting token tax into hardware, we're bringing the hardware up online, and then the hardware starts to make revenue, and then the revenue goes back to the token ecosystems. The more attractive the yield, the more people will be attracted to SETI. And then that just generates more token tax for us to purchase more hardware with, and more hardware generates more revenue to go back to the ecosystem. And hopefully this...
Two twos. I don't need two twos.
Revenue to go back to the ecosystem, and hopefully...
I don't need two does either.
The ecosystem, and hopefully this feels like a
Is it two ands?
and hopefully this
They're too close together. I'm not even bothered with that.
feels like a flywheel with no ceiling, effectively no ceiling in terms of how big this can go. We can keep...
I'm so excited for SETI, guys. I know it sucks waiting, but man, can you imagine? I think myself, I'm a small holder, and it's just because I just don't have the budget to. But we've got some holders that have got hundreds of thousands of SETI tokens, and I'm just in awe. I don't even have 1,000 yet myself. I'm working on it. I'm close, but man, so excited for when the revenue starts coming back in.
How big this can go. We can keep installing H100s until the...
Oh, I see another spelling issue. H100s.
Installing H100s until the cows come home, and then the GB200s coming out like...
What the hell's a GB200? Sorry, I'm Googling that to make sure I'm getting... Oh, there it is. So it is GP200. I make sure... Because sometimes when I hear stuff, it's not exactly what I hear. You know what I mean? I had a video that I was live on a couple weeks ago. It was... I could not figure out what the word was at all. It was between two words. I had to guess what he was saying. Like that kind of stuff. So make sure I heard it right.
GB200s coming out like later this year from NVIDIA. All the top spec stuff that NVIDIA wants to put out, we'll stick it in data centers all over the world and keep making money for Web3 and decentralized AI participants.
All right, let me get rid of these. One of these fours here.
Yeah, we are bringing hyperscale to decentralized artificial intelligence.
Ooh, that's a good quote to use too. So one of the things I also do while I'm making these podcasts is I've got certain like Canva templates already set up. And if I find something that, well, for example, I had so Twitter limits you to about 2 minutes and 20 seconds, roughly 2 minutes, depending. It will go over that, but I know I can't go past at least 2 minutes and 18, 2 minutes 20 seconds to post a video on Twitter. But there's been incidents where, you know, something like this that's, you know, this is a really good promotional quote I can use in social media for SETI. Maybe not that big. But I had to cut a video down in order to fit in that 2 minute 20 second timeline. So I'll just take some of these smaller bits that I can cut out to save time and turn them into something like this. So again, repurposing content. I think he's CIO. I'll double check before I post this, but you know, stuff like this, easily can be repurposed as content. So I like listening as I'm going through these podcasts to find potential videos and quotes. And I'm curious if my dog's going to make me take him out, because I'm only about not even halfway done editing. But I am also been doing this for an hour. So let's say I was done. Where am I at? 13:03. If I was done, and I'm not adding any video to this, this is just strictly audio. There's two things I would do, because I think he is going to make me take him out, and so I'll be ending the live. But the whole process of me doing this was editing a podcast easily through this text editor AI functionality that Descript provides. And again, under Lord, you've got all kinds of cool AI tools, like removing your word gaps, removing filler words, adding studio sound, how you can even draft your YouTube description or social media posts or blog posts. You know, whatever you need to do, there's all kinds of tools in Descript built in that's powered by AI to do this. So after I'm done everything and I've got, you know, everything ready to go, I would, for this particular thing, I would export it as just the audio for a podcast. If you added video elements, it would add a video option here, so you could then export it, which you'll see in my previous lives wherever you're watching. I've got tons of them up where you can export into a video and use that on YouTube, wherever you post videos. But for this one, I'm also going to be doing a transcript, which lets you choose a text format that you want to export into. I'm just going to use Microsoft Word. You can use plain text or whatever, because SETI holders are worldwide. We have, especially in our French community, it's easier for them to transcribe a transcript of a video than have to listen and then try to translate that way. So this is an extra service I'm providing for them. But additionally, one thing that I'm going to experiment with, and I'll probably go live maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, it depends, but I'm going through 5 different AMAs that we've done, doing this exact same thing that I've been doing for the last hour. It's going to take me several hours, which is why I'm not sure if it'll be done tomorrow. I'm hoping, because I've got 5 AMAs to do this to. But I'm going to go into ChatGPT. I'm going to upload all of them. Actually, I'm not going to close the window because I don't know what's behind it. I could have an email, but I'm going to upload all of them to ChatGPT. And since most of these AMAs are formatted around frequently asked questions from the community, again, they're called AMAs for a reason, ask me anything. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to make me an FAQ based off of the documents that I'm uploading. I'm going to see how well of a job it does. But these are common questions that the community gives us. So it makes sense that why not just take the transcripts from all these AMAs where we're answering these vocally, and then have AI turn that into an actually written out frequently asked question document. So that's my experiment. As soon as I get done all 5 AMAs, I'm actually going to, I think, live stream me doing the FAQ based off of these AMAs. And we do these once a month. So I will probably do this once a month, not all of them for the FAQ. I'll just be like, okay, we're adding to the FAQ with this next set of questions, and then have it write it out for me. So it should be interesting to experiment to see if it can take these audio files that we transcribe into transcripts and then take the interviews and turn them into an FAQ. I'm really curious about that. So anyway, I'm going to take my dog out, hopefully not die in this freaking heat. And then if you subscribe or follow me, I'd be interested to see how ChatGPT does with these documents. So I think it'll be an interesting experiment. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon.